Good evening, guys. Kind of Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast, March 15th, or I'm sorry, May 15th, 2024, the Ides of May. Start with the 30 period, or the 30-minute hybrid swing. So we're working with Alcoa here, 30 minutes. And today there was a big gap up, sold off through the PSAR. So we got short with a standard risk. It sold off, started to reverse. Here's where the R10 peaks. So we take the exit at the skin of the dragon for about 2R. Then it continues to gain. That's a 1, 2, 3 entry. And the whole market was really working by this time. So that's a delayed reversal with a standard risk. And it closed very well. And I didn't want overnight risk, and that gave about 2R. So that net was about 4R on a open from here and a close to there. We still were able to ride it in both directions for 4R. So pretty happy about that one. AI. This was I missed the short on this one. This was here's the close. Here's the big gap up. And then it dropped like a stone. And that alerted me when it held support around the 5-day anchored VWAP. And then it gave me a 1, 2, 3 entry. The whole market was working here. And it rolled over, came back to the skin of the dragon for 2R. I missed this one altogether. I was looking at indexes in Brazil or Mexico, so span of control. Caterpillar was a gap up and fail for a fraction. Cliff was another one of these standard closed here, gap open here, sold off hard, morning hook, came up to the daily VWAP after crossing the Bollinger Band mean and the 3-day anchored VWAP, hit the skin of the dragon. So I got long there. The whole market was working. And this made a very orderly move. This is where the R10 started to peak. It came down. I exited here for 1R. CVS, no trade. Diamonds. This was a gap and go. It closed here. It gapped up to here, sold off and then reversed. Got long. This is the standard risk in diamonds. And at the end of the day, that gave about 3. Disney, beauty. Here was a sideways chop. Today was a big gap down and started to fail further. Got short with the standard risk, and it just dropped like a stone. Reversed. This is about a 1, 2, 3 exit near the skin of the dragon for about 3R. May have given back too much here. I think I should have played that reversal bar and exited a few bars earlier. Devon Energy was a morning hook. It collapsed hard, and they gave me a 1, 2, 3 entry off the low of the day. There's the low. And this worked nicely, hit the Bollinger Band mean, and then reversed, and I took that exit for 2R. Emerging markets was a gap and go for 3R, the usual. ETHE was a gap and go for 3R, exit near the close of the day. Mexico was just a wild trade. Here's the close. Here's the gap opening. It took off like an OR30, if you will. Standard risk. It ran like a scalded ape, reversed. On the sniper trade of the day, I ended up getting this as a short trade on the 3 minutes, but on the long side, I was content with 4. Brazil, morning hook, big sell off, 1-2 entry as it crossed the VWAP for 2R, skin of the dragon. Home Depot, gap and go for an R. Honeywell. This was just the most orderly trade all day. It had a nice patient sell off to the 5-day anchored VWAP, which is above the 10-day VWAP. It reversed, crossed above PSAR flip, standard risk, came up through the Bollinger Band main, through the 3-day anchored VWAP, and exited near the close of the day for 2R. That was just the most pleasant experience in what was otherwise kind of an exciting day. Really enjoyed that one. Intel, morning hook for an R. IP, International Paper, was a morning hook for an R. Skin of the dragon exit. There were a lot of those today. Coca-Cola, no trade. Regional banks was a big time gap and drop. So here's the gap up. There was yesterday's close. Gapped all the way to here, ran all the way up, came all the way back, came through the VWAP, so we got short, new low of the day. Standard risk, dropped like a stone, reversed at the RL10 and the Bollinger Band mean, took the skin of the dragon exit for 2R. A perfect reversion to the mean trade. Mags, this is the Magnificent 7 ETF, and this is the first day of trading it. I've been watching it for a few. Gap and go for 2R, very orderly. That's Microsoft, Apple, Google, Netflix, Amazon, Tesla, and somebody else. The Magnificent 7. McDonald's, gap and go, cross the 10-day, 30-day, and 5-day anchored VWAPs, and just that's all buying pressure, exiting near the end of the day for 3R on a must-own symbol. This is 3M, gap and go for an R. Skin of the dragon exit, Merck. Gap and go, and this one ended up being about 5R and just unbelievable. I want to just highlight to you the this choppy area of sideways nothingness. That's right at the same congestion area here. So when that broke out either here or here, that's a logical place for a second position. It stayed north of the VWAP, so I was willing to stay with it. We just put a little hook nose on there and gave him some ears. It would look like an owl. So have the wisdom to look back for the support and resistance and be ready to exploit the next leg up. Microsoft, I was really happy with this trade. This was a morning hook. Opened here, reversed and went higher, bought it with standard risk. And I probably should have had a second position right about there. Exiting near the close of the day. Not from a single, but from an abundance of caution. That's 4R. Marijuana was no trade. Nike, much like CBS, this was just a collapse. One of the few downward gaps, and it broke through the 10-day, the 30-day, the 5-day, the Bollinger anchored VWAPs, the Bollinger Band main, and it kept dropping like a stone, so it got short. Here's the reversal at the R10, skin of the dragon exit for 2R. NVIDIA, the entry around 840 is starting to look pretty good. This is one of a couple that I'm going to hold overnight, hoping to see a favorable gap. This was a gap and go, standard risk, 2R battle drill, closed very nicely. Well, a nice cushion above the VWAP, so I'm going to hold that one overnight on 2 positions because I've got a nice buffer of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost a 7R buffer. Wouldn't be offended if you cash that, but I'm going to try to play for the gap on that one. PBW, this was a gap up and roll over for 2R, reversal with the skin of the dragon, exit there. Palantir, this was a morning hook. It sold off hard. Here's the gap up, sold off hard, reversed 1, 2, 3. The whole market was working, led by tech. So we got long, and it just cruised all the way to the top of the day, exiting near the close for a nice 1R. This was just a nice day, and the S&P broke out and made a new high above 525. It helped that it closed here and then gapped to a new high, and then with no resistance overhead, the path of least resistance is up and closed at 529, brand new high. Can't explain it. Just following it. Treasuries rebounded. Tesla, big gap down. I mean, a sell-off down. It was, I should say, a gap up and then a sell-off. Let me clarify that. So gap up, and I missed the sell-off. It found support at the 5-day VWAP, and I took the 1, 2, 3 entry, and it went nowhere. So just protected cash, scratch. Walmart, no trade. U.S. Steel, no trade. Energy was a trade. This was a looking for the, yeah, there's the gap open, reversal, 1, 2, 3. There's it's starting to roll over, comes down, hits the skin of the dragon, exit there, 1, 2, 3, about 4R. Along the way, look where it crossed the daily VWAP, skin of the dragon, the 10-day VWAP, the 3-day VWAP, the Bollinger Band main, the PSAR dots, the 5-day VWAP, and just got tired at the same level that it hit resistance before. So give it that much room on the way back and exit at the skin of the dragon for 4. Finance, no trade, span of control. XLI, no trade. What worked was we finally got the tech leadership today. This is XLK. On this gap, here's the close. Here's the gap up in tech. That got my immediate attention. This was my high priority trade. First entry, 2R battle drill, 4R battle drill. So that's 3 positions cruising into the close. Really happy with that one. 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one is 6, 4, and 2. That is a little combo 12R trade and no overnight risk. Very happy with that one. This is the symmetrical trade in on 3 minutes. And this is EWW. Here's yesterday's close. Here's the gap up. There's the OR3. Here's the breakout, standard risk of about 20 cents. 2-hour battle drill, 4-hour battle drill, exit at the PSAR, re-entry on the COTA 2, exit on the PSAR. Here's an owl entry. It now has everything is rolled over and crossed the Bollinger Band main. So short with a standard risk. And to my surprise, it came through the VWAP. I considered a third position, but I felt greedy. And then took the standard exit at the skin. That's just as nice a trade as you could ask for, with perfect signals up here for the owl. And notice how the move from the low up to the VWAP, there's the move up from the VWAP, the second leg, then back to the VWAP, and then finishes the day in proximity there. So that VWAP is acts like a giant magnet. All right, let's take a look at the traders. So we got 2 days of trader stuff to look at. So yesterday was a tough day because of the very narrow range. That didn't seem to slow Brian down. Brian, like, here's the British pound Aussie dollar on the 5s. He sees the breakdown of the collapsing dragon. Should consider a second position right here. Takes the reversal in the skin of the dragon for 5R. Stops and reverses, picks up another 1.2 for a total of 6R. And he's working on about 24R with an expectancy of 0.85. Nothing wrong with that. And he gets another 5.5R on the gold spot US dollar on the 5s. He doesn't even get this trade, but he tries this one, takes a micro loss, stops in reverse, and crushes it to here. Ahmad gets trying to make too much happen in DIA on a very quiet day. Plays EWW correctly, however, stays out of the chop, except for a couple ventures here late in the day that didn't hurt. This is Kevin R's excellent one-page trading strategy and current assessment, and his after-action review and follow-through ideas. So a very clean, orderly way of working on this. You should take a screenshot of that. He basically trades a lot for the broker and scratches for the day on the 3-minute, but the 30-minute pulls him out with a full R on 2 nice shorts. He's finding that combination working. George makes a micro gain on the Honeywell short, and gets chopped early. Doesn't take the follow through or the reversal. There was more available. This is Satya. Gets a little choppy and here on EWW. And I think he, realizing that he missed the or didn't get filled at the yellow dot, I think started to overtrade this a little bit. However, he makes up for that on diamonds. And this would be a positive day if we take those signals. Makes it a positive day with this move in Alcoa. And notice that he's only 1/3 efficient. He doesn't get the short or the long, but he gets the second leg down, and that's enough to turn that day into a positive day. Now here's some just really good work from Tim. He's using his trading view setups that he and his partners put together for 3P4 traders. And he brings home almost 8R in Disney when it collapses out of this sideways chop. He gets the Z3 pinch breakout and a standard exit for almost 8R, framed in the usual way. These are auto framed and just nicely done. And let's see, this is Devon Energy. And he brings home 5R on that one with a series of cascading shorts, and then the PSAR reversal. Just as nice as you could want in Devon Energy. That's why it's one of our favorite traders. So that's about a 13-hour day. Oh, plus another two, making it a 15-hour day in Merck, which is also becoming quite a trader. Here's the gap up, gap and go, standard exit, tries the short, cuts the loss quick, brings home 2 to make it 15 for the day. And he's using the trading view alerts on the longer time frames to help him zero in. When the 30s alert, he drills down to the 3 minutes to take his trade. So he's using that combination pretty nicely. This is Brian from today. Gets a micro loss on doesn't stick around on. This is the Euro Aussie. Brings home another 5R on the gold dollars, 5 beautiful on a single position, another 1 here. So that's 5.9, and it doesn't even take the second leg or the third leg or the fourth leg. Whew. Makes me want to be a currency trader. George is taking a break from his 30 minutes and is working on some really rapid fires today. So we're just going to sit back and watch him have a little fun. It's this will help you with not being able to pull the trigger because you have to pull the trigger. I would just say you really got to be committed to the short side, but that's the signal you want short because you got lower highs and it's come through the Bollinger Band main and it's breaking through the dragon. Somewhere either here or here, you could be short instead of here. So if you're going to trade fast, trade fast. Not for the nervous. On the 1 minute charts in Bitcoin, I think you got to watch for these kind of patterns where you got this double bottom on the RL10s and it's above the anchored, it's above the VWAP. And I think you should be looking at these like a caught a 2, that lazy W. And your idea is that it should come back to here like it did. That's why that failure to fail a second time says this might just break out. And when this breaks above, there's your entry. 1 minute chart, I'm not going to comment. Satya today on this move to the all-time high in the Dow. This is like a slow frog, standard risk, second leg entry or exit, then caught a 2 re-entry, perfectly played. 3R. And on EWW, he gets the front leg of the trade. He identified this as a 2R battle drill, but he didn't pull the trigger. Otherwise, his 7.5 could have been 12. He doesn't take this one, but he does get that one, and he is able to bring home 10. Could have been 20. So good day at work for Satya. EWW, fellas. All right, the daily report, we've seen the sniper. Here's the 150-day look. Here's your breakout to the all-time high, having cleared the previous one. Let's see if there's any momentum these next 2 days to lock it in going into the weekend. That would be unsurprising. Checking the anchored VWAPs. The 3 is good. The 5 is favorable. The 10 has crossed the 30 and is favorable. The 30 is bottomed out and is rolling up. All that's good. We've cleared the resistance. This is an all-time high. Gold star for you. You can see the on the 30-minute, today's trade was all above all previous resistance and was just pure optimism today. Dashboard 1, bullish normal, overbought on every dimension, risk on, favorable volatility. What's not to love? Favorable breakouts on multiple time frames everywhere you look. Only Disney is postured for an auto framer because of the harsh sell-off in Disney, which was the only sad spot today. The ETF tactical, same deal. All the indexes loved it today. No auto framers, just momentum trades to the upside. Only Disney and Walmart better than 2-1 on the auto framer. Still a surprising number of pinches today. So there were some that didn't have the big range days. Industrials, XLI, Coke, and mid caps. Walmart and diamonds and small caps. So there were some that had small ranges today, and I'll be looking for them to follow through tomorrow. Being dominated by the summer everywhere you look. The multi-time frame NDX showing just how broad and pervasive the strength was today, with the exception of Brazil, and then a handful of underperformers over here, which are just grumpy old men. Tesla. That's why I'm not interested in Tesla in the mags. He's got big problems there with his that firing of all the supercharger team, 500 people. That was going to be a big part of their income stream, was selling power stations. And he's got the roadshow out there trying to persuade the Tesla shareholders to reinstate his $49 billion bonus that the SEC voided. That's not a good look. And I think they've got troubles. And the Cybertruck has not been a runaway success in the press. They're really emphasizing the problems that the thing is having. I think that's just because they don't like Elon, but it's still something to contend with. Just notice how the volatility, which had spiked, has become favorable. It's at the long-term average based on the 30-day price volatility, and then the ATR percentage method has pulled way back to the long-term average. That's good. And then the slope stat of the 30, all it is at the long-term average. This 30-day slope is not problematic. That's a good thing. If we go back one chart and look at that, that slope stat of the last 30 days is really micro up. Even though it's been accelerating, the 30-day look is just barely up, and that's just at the long-term average of the last 180 days. So there's still room to the upside to recover another leg up. And since we're at an all-time high, there's a possibility of I'd say another 5% leg. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I can't see it getting further than that. Yep, there's the dragon coming out of the river and looking ahead for big things. The slope of the 30 has come back and is now above the 0 line. The 90 is getting ready to turn, and the 10 has already had a nice run. There's another leg up potential in that, just like it did back here when it had the last time that it slammed out of the river. There's another leg up implied over the next couple days, but after that, I'm still not persuaded. So I will be minimizing my overnight risk to hedge against sharp reversals. All right, that's everything for today. We'll get it published and posted. We're going to start up the Creativity 202 next Wednesday night, so be advised. 7:00 Central for a new cohort of Creativity 202 and any long-term students. That is a lifetime access to that course. All right, take good care, fellas, and we shall see you tomorrow.